Hello and welcome to Mediumship Matters with me, Hannah McIntyre. And it's a Mediumship Mini with a listener question, and this one comes from our friend Kev. And Kev says, "Hello Hannah. Firstly, thank you so much for your answers to my previous question on your amazing podcast and Instagram. It made my day. So I have another question. It's about elementals and other dimensional beings. I listen to many podcasts. Yours is obviously the best. I should hope so. On the paranormal, from spiritual near-death experiences, astral travel, to all the unexplained stuff, basically all the mysterious unseen world. I'm especially drawn to mediumship. I would pursue that further, but I don't remember what I did this morning, let alone get in touch with the divine soul. Anyway, this elemental subject quite often comes up, and I wondered what your thoughts were on these mysterious creatures. Is there some truth in it, or is it all ding-dongs and fluffy ping-pongs?" That's another website, Kev. I apologise if you have covered this subject. Thanks again, Kev. Right. Kev, you do make me laugh. So, what do I think? I don't believe that we are the only life form that souls experience. I think that there are many, many life forms that souls experience in different dimensions. I sincerely hope that we are not the best and brightest that this unlimited interdimensional universe has to offer, because that's kind of depressing if we are. Anyway, aside from that, I do believe in other life forms. I do believe that there are other life forms that are far more conscious and connected than we are. And I think that some of them come here to help. Do I believe that there's aliens on Earth? Yeah, I think I do, really. But not in the kind of scary, they're coming to get us kind of way. Because really, if you think about any alien that you've ever seen on a film or a TV show, the things that we see them doing are only the same as what we are doing to the Earth anyway. So we are killing each other and blowing each other up with weapons that we really shouldn't have made. Imagine if all the effort that had been in this world that came to staking claim over a piece of land that you live upon for a finite amount of time until you die. Imagine if we'd spent that on development, on looking after each other, on healthcare, on feeding everybody. I know, but I don't think that's what we come here for, and you know that, guys. I mean, I think the whole point is that it's wasted. There we go. Anyway, so yeah, I believe that there are interdimensional, intergalactic beings that are definitely coming to help us. I also think that sometimes we become very limited in our approach to spirit and the way that we perceive them. So, for example, I guess being somebody that grew up watching Jim Henson films and loved fairy tales and things like that. For me, when I perceive fairies, they are troll-like, elfy, mean and powerful, but not fluffy, glittery, pink wings. And I would love to perceive them like the flower fairies that I had collected when I was a child, but I just don't. They're more like something hiding under your bed in Labyrinth and less like a flower fairy. So I think that spirit work with us in any way that they are able to work with us. So if you perceive a fairy, you might be right. If you're getting a pink glittery fairy, you might be way more open to the real way that fairies are. But I think we always perceive through our filters. You know, like angels don't really have wings, but we always see them as winged, and we associate feathers with angels. And I get feathers from the spirit world as a gift, which I love, but equally I know that angels don't have wings. And they don't actually have form. If we're going to really get nitty picky, they're a light. They're so high vibrational, they don't need to take a form. So we have projected our human stuff onto these things. So I think elementals and other dimensional beings and all those kind of things, we all are souls. Whatever dimension that we take the form of, we are still part of the same oneness. But I have no reason for thinking that. That's just what I think. There's a Instagram account called You Are Another Me that I follow, and they often have angels on it, which just, they're really funny drawings of angels where they've got like 8 eyes and they're like a ball, and all these people going, oh my God, what are you? Because it's just so funny that our sanitized view of angels being that they look like us, because that's what we need as humans. We can't possibly have a pillar of light to talk to. It has to look like us. And isn't that just the ego and conceit of man? Anyway, was I answering your question, Kev? So, yeah, and I think not remembering what you did this morning actually is a gift when it comes to mediumship. I actually think my memory's got worse since I started mediumship, because what you are trying to do is get yourself out of the way and switch your brain off. And just, it's a gift, isn't it, that? Because every day is new to me. And quite often I hear the same story many times from people and it's always new to me. So, there's not always bad things about having a bad memory. So, yeah, I've just seen the title of your email, Bigfoot, UFOs, Fairies, or maybe even the odd hobbit. I would love for there to be hobbits. Or would I actually? The hobbits piss me off a bit. Yeah, no, I don't think any of my guides are going to present as a hobbit because they're just too bloody annoying for me. I'm not open to a hobbit, Kev. I'm open to Legolas style elf coming in and shooting everyone with arrows, but less so the hobbits having second breakfast and getting to all sorts of hijinks. That's just not me. Anyway, thank you very much for your question. I hope that somewhere in this complete inanity is inanity, potato is the answer to your question. And if not, you might have to resubmit it because I've gone so far down the rabbit hole, I may never come back. But have a lovely day and keep exploring. And also, I'm going to say this, but don't settle for what I believe because good God, that would be limiting. Make sure that you sit with it yourself. Call different spirits to you in different forms. Intergalactic healers are amazing energy to call in. Really, really amazing. I had an experience with Ascended Master. Oh, God, I'm trying to remember his name. But he always presents as really intergalactic to me. And his eyes were completely black. Super cool. He gave me some information about healing. Commander Ashtar. I knew his name was in there somewhere. So there's loads of different energies that you can work with and see how they come to you and how they experience to you. Oh, actually, I've got another story here. Once I was in the woods doing a meditation by myself. I tried doing that a few times, but you do feel very exposed that someone's going to come along and see you and think you're insane. But anyway, I was in the woods doing a meditation and there was this little elfy, fairy-like man that came to speak to me. But he wasn't little. Actually, he was the same height as me. And he was talking about how we have no respect for the woodland. He kept spitting because he was so annoyed with humans and the way that we don't care for the ancient beings and the way that we treat the woodland, the ancient woodland, and we should have more respect for it. And he was talking about us chopping down ancient trees to put our unconscious, low vibrational words onto them from a printing press and not expanding into the wonder and the wisdom that that tree had for all. So that was pretty cool. And he definitely looked like a Jim Henson kind of elf. Anyway, so open up to it. It's super cool, super fun. And let me know how you get on. Thank you very much for submitting a question.